Hi there. I've been looking forward to this reading all week. I've just been so excited. So I asked Spirit for a key word to kind of guide and direct this collective reading. I do like doing general guidance readings and kind of focusing based on areas of our lives so that whatever messages want to come through from Spirit, our angels, and everyone, like whatever messages want to come through can come through by leaving things open in general. But I asked for just like maybe like a key word because I actually felt called to ask for one, and then Spirit instantly was like revelation. And so this week's reading is going to be about revelation. Of course, this is timeless, so whenever you happen upon this reading is the right time. All right, so we shall see what Spirit has to say about revelation, and I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so I've been getting the moon card a lot, and that's, I feel like, kind of where some of that energy has come from, feeling like we were in the dark and out in the cold because of the universe, a lot of trials and tests and difficult upgrades that we've been going through, but I've been feeling the energy shifting, so I know that it's going to be a time where Spirit is going to let us in on whatever secrets that we are meant to hear about. All right, so I'm seeing change on the table, so that's confirming. Sorry, I had a card fall on the floor. So yeah, change is on the table. Now we have the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Cups, and so Spirit is starting off the reading saying that we see you. We see that you've been feeling out in the cold. You've been handling these trials and tests like champions, but it definitely has affected you emotionally, and you felt like, okay, when is this going to end? And of course I don't have like exact timing, like Spirit doesn't give me like weeks, months, that sort of thing, because I found that it's unhelpful. Like sometimes if I get a timing from a reading and then it doesn't come through in that time, then my faith gets shakier or I lose faith altogether, and that ends up blocking a blessing that may have been coming in. So Spirit is saying don't focus so much on the timing of this changing. Just focus on the feeling of excitement and hope that like this energy is ending, this cold, this heartbreak, this disappointment, that is all ending. And so focus on the opposite of that. And then next we have the Six of Pentacles. So it goes from the Five of Pentacles to the Six of Pentacles, and Spirit is saying this is the universe finally blessing you with what you've been asking for because you are ready. And a big message is that sometimes we are always deserving of what we are asking for, but sometimes we're just not ready, whether it be we have energies around us, people who don't have our highest and best good around us, and Spirit doesn't want to bless us with certain things while we have those energies around us, or we are doubtful, shaky in our confidence, and Spirit doesn't want us to self-sabotage. So if you're wanting more insight to, I'm going to ask Spirit next what may have been holding us back so we can gain some insight into that. But basically, Spirit is saying that divine timing has to do with a lot of factors, and other people's free will can sometimes get in the way of our manifestations because usually there are other people involved in whatever it is we're calling into our lives, whether that's people giving us a job or our families needing our support, whatever the case. But Spirit is saying that the universe is coming in and reciprocating that energy of our faith, our hope, our knowing, our willingness to flow with whatever the universe throws our way. We are now being blessed because of that. And so that's so beautiful. And Spirit is also anchoring this message in terms of our work, our career endeavors. I've gotten messages for myself a lot about my projects and things, and so it looks like Spirit is coming through saying that that's going to be a focus of this reading. Yeah, that's it. Well, I have the High Priestess in reverse, and so this is kind of speaking to that moon energy that I was thinking about, where it felt like, we're very intuitive beings, and sometimes that can get us in trouble because we're expecting to be able to see everything that's coming, to have complete insight into everything that's going on in our lives, but we're not meant to. We're not meant to know all of the mysteries and the secrets of the universe. We are human beings right now. We are souls living a human experience, and as humans, we are limited in our understanding of how the universe operates and limited in our ability to foresee the future. Like, sometimes we can gain predictive insights. Our dreams may be prophetic. We may receive prophetic messages while we're channeling, but there's only so much that is meant to be revealed at a given time. And so if you've been feeling blocked in terms of your intuitive guidance, Spirit is saying that is not cause for alarm. That is not a sign that your connection is being cut off or weakened. You're just fine. It's just that there are certain things you are not meant to know at this time. And so I'm going to ask Spirit what they would like to reveal when it comes to what was blocking us in the recent past and maybe in the present, and maybe what we are at risk of doing to block our blessings in the near future. So, transformation is often so painful and so uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean that we are not meant to go through what we were going through. Like, pain and discomfort is not a sign of resistance. It's a sign that we are progressing in the ways that we are meant to, but that season of pain and discomfort is not meant to last forever. It's going to be ending. Okay, so yes, first up, Wheel of Fortune is confirming that this was about karma and divine intervention when it comes to our blessings being blocked in the past. We had to break out of that pattern of holding too tightly onto what we know and what we have, and trust in the divine in order to bring in our new blessings. And so that was the lesson that we had to learn, how to not block our blessings and our manifestations by holding on too tightly to the old, to what we already know, or even what we thought was meant for us. And so the wheel is actually going to be turning, but as a result of us letting go, as a result of us releasing the old. All right, and so Spirit is coming through also with possibly a message about passionate relationships. Maybe there are some of us here who had some volatile flings, some karmic connections where things felt very fiery, very passionate, and we were feeling a lot. And so we maybe thought that that was the relationship that was meant for us. And then when Spirit cleared that away, it was very heartbreaking. And I'm seeing that 5 of Cups energy again. And so we went through heartbreak and disappointment when it came to our romantic lives. And we lost our passions a little bit when this person or people, when these maybe even like friendships where we were having a lot of fun, we were going out and we were partying, and then it felt like all of that ended and we were in hermit mode, we were out in the cold, we couldn't see what was next. And Spirit is saying that that was for the best, because whoever those people were in the way of our new lives, were in the way of our manifestations. And so because we were able to sit in this moon energy, we were able to allow the universe to reveal to us what was meant to be seen at the right time. We are becoming kings of Wands and Kings of Pentacles. So we are becoming incredibly magnetic, incredibly attractive. Our passion is coming back. New romantic relationships are coming in. We don't have to worry about the old, and this is going to be much, much better because we're bringing in stability. This is what we want, and those flings that we had, they serve their purpose, and we may have had fun with those past friends, but now is the time when we move into more mature energy, more settling in, allowing our roots to grow deep into the earth in terms of our legacy when it comes to our work and building a family. Even if you don't want to have children, even if you don't want to get married, even if you don't want to settle down with a particular person, this is also about settling down with yourself, being in harmony with your own energy, feeling stable within yourself, and feeling confident, and not being alone because you're afraid to enter an intimate connection, but being alone because that is your choice. So this is awesome. Spirit is revealing that our growth is paying off big time in both our internal and external worlds. Okay, so since Spirit came through with a career message, at the beginning, let's go ahead and jump into some more specifics and see if Spirit, and so the Hierophant just popped out to me, and so Spirit uses this card to let me know that they are present and that they are truly guiding us at this time. Like, Spirit's always with us, always guiding us, but this is a signal that we're tapped in. Our connection is very, very strong with Spirit at this time. And so any questions that you have about your career, especially since this is a general reading applying to multiple energies, talk to Spirit. Like, any of your prayers will be heard and answered. Look at that. 10 of Pentacles. This is exactly what I was talking about in terms of legacy. So with our careers, whatever it is that we've been planning, whatever we've been looking forward to, if we had a vision that we were looking to carry out, Spirit is confirming that this is most definitely leading to a lasting legacy, leading to prosperity, leading to stability. If we are building families, if we are looking to buy homes, all of that is being blessed at this time. Spirit is infusing all of those endeavors with magic. And we have another king on the table. And so this is indicating that being in touch with our emotions and being able to balance our emotions greatly benefits every area of our lives. And so when it comes to our careers, even if we're not in an explicitly creative field, say you're a doctor or a nurse, this is about being able to tap into that compassion without getting compassion fatigue. This is about being able to wind down at the end of the day and reflect with yourself, how am I actually doing? Am I taking good care of myself? Is there anything that I need emotionally? Do I need to talk to someone about things? Spirit is letting us know that this is a priority. We need to prioritize this emotional intelligence no matter what field you're going into. But lately I've been seeing Cups energy as a creative energy in terms of like being able to express our emotions through our work. So if there's anybody who is a creative, just know that if you are feeling hypersensitive, if you are feeling like, oh, I'm too much, I feel so much all of the time, Spirit is saying harness that. Balance it, harness it, hold space for it, and it's going to result in this 10 of Pentacles energy. Very awesome. I have the Queen of Cups on the back of the deck in reverse, indicating that this was something that we were struggling with. This was something that we weren't maybe in touch with. We were feeling like emotions got in the way. We were feeling like compassion fatigue, feeling like I give so much, but I'm not getting mine. Whereas, where are the people pouring into me? And Spirit is revealing that this is going to come in for us as a result of everything that we've been doing. And underneath that, 8 of Pentacles. So keep working hard to balance your emotions. Keep working hard at whatever you started in the past or recently, and just know that it's being blessed. Like any failures, any setbacks that you experienced in the past, those are not going to be occurring again. Now is a time for divine connection and connection with our internal world in a way that's actually going to boost our endeavors. In the past, we were operating out of more shadowy energy, and so that's why it didn't feel like it was actually paying off. But now we've matured, and now we're able to harness that in ways that really help us. Okay, so I got a little bit of messages about, past romantic connections. So let's gain some insight and see what Spirit wants to reveal about our interpersonal relationships for this week. Wow. Spirit's coming through strongly, and I've just been trying to make sure that I'm a clear channel for these messages. I hope they're helpful for you as well. Okay. Yeah. Temperance in reverse and Knight of Swords. So Spirit is advising us not to rush into anything when it comes to any of our interpersonal relationships. In the past, we struggled with being balanced. Maybe some of us struggled with obsessive energies and fears of abandonment, that sort of thing. And as a result, we were in a chasing energy. We were feeling like we had to hold on tightly to what we had before we lost it, and that was actually pushing things away, but it also attracted the wrong connections, the wrong types of connections anyway. And so Spirit cleared those away. We have the Tower on the back of the deck, and I'm getting this for both past energy and present and future energy, so I'm going to go into that a bit more in a minute. But basically, Spirit is saying that any loss that you experienced was divinely orchestrated, and just please trust that it was definitely for the best, and that grief always passes, heartbreak always passes, and as a result, we are both stronger and wiser and better able to tap into true intimacy and connection that is not shrouded by our fears and by our tendencies that came from Spirit keeps using the phrase that I always use with myself. I call it trauma brain, where we're operating from a place of trauma essentially, and trauma brain was running the show in the past, resulting in us being imbalanced, being in imbalanced connections where we were overgiving, where we cared way more than the other person cared, and rushing things and trying to push for commitments where there weren't meant to be commitments in the first place. And so Spirit is saying that's what we are moving out of, and what we're moving into is the world. So possibly some of us are traveling to meet new people. If you were planning some kind of solo trip as a reward for all of the hard work that you've been doing, Spirit is blessing that at this time. You will have safe travels, and we have broken out of old cycles and we are moving into new cycles. And so no more karmic cycles of painful, volatile relationships. Maybe the intimate relations were really good and really hot, but the rest of it wasn't so good. Our emotional connections weren't so good. And so now that's ending, and what's coming, Spirit is revealing beautiful, beautiful happiness and internal harmony, and like really fun solo dates that actually result in us meeting new people. And so that's what this tower moment is. It's like, it's time for hermit mode to end. It's time for hangman energy to end, where we were just in reflection mode in our feelings, because this is Neptune energy, so I'm thinking of Pisces. We were very much in our feelings, in the head in the clouds, very dreamy of like, oh, when's my love life gonna come? But like deep down, like maybe in our heads we were like, oh, I want love, but deep down we weren't ready. Now we're ready. And Spirit is saying that we're gonna have some beautiful energies coming in as a result. Okay. And so now, Spirit, is there anything else that you want to reveal to us? This has been such a fruitful message, so deep. Okay, so some good affirmations for this time. I am beautiful. I am worthy of love. I am successful. I am worthy of success. Yes. We deserve all of this that is coming in. And Spirit wants to remind us to balance that self-improvement energy with giving ourselves credit, you know? So we were in the mode of like reflection and noticing all of the things that we were doing wrong. And Spirit is like, you have done an amazing job. And so you deserve to be proud of yourself. The road ahead is long. Our lives are long, but that doesn't mean that it has to feel burdensome. So this is the 10 of Wands. So we are traveling to new and better. Maybe our solo adventures that we're taking, we might feel like we're meeting some challenges, but that doesn't mean that, you know, it was a mistake to go on whatever adventure it is. Like, you know, the cliche, the journey is the prize. I don't even know how it goes. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? And so we live in a dualistic world. And so the good comes with the bad sometimes, and the bad just being maybe challenges, difficulties that grew us. But Spirit is lighting our path along the way, and we're always divinely guided in everything that we do. And so remember, when you meet with challenges, take a second to breathe and come back to center. Don't let yourself get thrown out of whack. When you start to maybe like lose that balance between your intuitive mind and your logical brain, and you start like overthinking every step along the way, that actually extends the challenges, that worsens them. We're less able to see clearly the way forward. And so Spirit is advising us to remember, like, don't get thrown back into trauma brain of either being overly emotionally volatile, letting your emotions drag you along, like get way out of balance, or overthinking all of the time, being way too logical. Spirit is saying, all right, remain centered, remain balanced as you go along this journey. But that period of feeling like you had to fight for everything that you had, feeling like you were unsupported and that you were in this alone, that's ending. And Spirit was always with you, but because we have free will, we have to invite Spirit in. We have to invite God in. We have to ask our angels for assistance. We have to let the ancestors know that we are open to their guidance. And so if we were feeling alone in the past, it was because we didn't fully lean into that ability to call on these energies of the highest love and light to assist us. And so Spirit is saying that's actually ending, because this is the 9 of Wands in reverse. And so we are going to be feeling supported. We're going to be meeting earth angels along the way. So other people who are also on this path of divine connection and elevation. And so we're going to be feeling like we're meeting energies who match us rather than feeling stagnant in the same old of people not reciprocating, that same old of feeling like we weren't able to tap into true intimacy. And so this is the Four of Cups in reverse on the back of the deck, and that's such a beautiful energy saying that we're going to be feeling passionate about life. This Wands energy, so we have the 10 of Wands and the 9 of Wands in reverse. This Wands energy on the table is telling us that we are going to be feeling so passionate about life again because we've made it out of those energies. We've made it out of our past of trauma. This is the Six of Cups in reverse. We've made it out of that past of heartache, being left out in the cold, and stagnancy. It's going to be so good. And then one more card that I saw was the Knight of Cups in reverse. And so the Knight of Cups is a charmer, right? And so maybe we dealt with some narcissistic energies in the past. Any types of connections, friendships, romantic, work relationships, bosses that were maybe narcissistic that took advantage of us. We're not going to be getting those shadowy offers anymore. We're not going to be getting those offers that don't serve our highest and best good. We are going to be getting offers that are divinely orchestrated, that spirit is bringing in for us because we're ready, we've matured, we're ready to be passionate about our lives again because we've made it out of trauma brain. So it's not going to be an imbalanced passion. It's going to be divine passion. All right. So for final messages, I'm going to be pulling from my Starseed Oracle deck. And, I put the disclaimer in last week that if you don't believe in starseeds, it's okay. If you don't identify as a starseed, it's okay. We will still get messages of the highest love and light from this deck. So yeah, I'm just going to allow whatever revelations that Spirit wants to leave us with at the end of this reading to come through. Thank you. Okay, so this card says, we the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth as a portal. So Spirit wants to leave us with the message that we are being held and nurtured at this time. We have birthed a new cycle and a new way of life. And how beautiful is that? And so that is a portal to blessings. And as we transition in this way, we are being held by divine feminine energies. If you believe in Mama Earth Gaia as being a consciousness that can hold us, she is going to be here with us. If you are someone who prays to Mother Mary, if you work with any goddess energy, you're going to be feeling that very strongly as you move into this new way of being, as you begin your career endeavors, as you meet new people that you enter into connections with. And then we have the Cosmic Heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. And so all the divine asks of us is going back to that idea of free will and needing to call in these divine energies for assistance. All Spirit asks is that we just continue to cultivate that connection, continue to call on the divine, to thank them for their assistance, and, to ask for any advice that we may need. And I also have been thinking a lot about, and Spirit is bringing this to me, how everything that I do feels so much better when I have that sense of it being part of something larger, that feeling of oneness and that feeling of I am doing this for Spirit and this is God flowing through me. Everything ends up turning out so much better and so much brighter. I'm thinking about artwork. I'm thinking about when you are in service of other people in your work. is infused with that extra energy of love when we devote it to God and we remember that we're constantly connected to a higher consciousness. And then last, the C's of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. And so that's that revelation, right? And so like all of that insight that we've been waiting on into like, okay, what is next? That is coming. And so we just have to remember to see the potential. Our lives are limitless. What we are able to do in our careers and how we are able to grow with the people in our lives, that is all so wide open to us. The world is our oyster and there are so many possibilities. And so we must remain in that feeling of hope. So even as we continue to wait for these things to come in, we can feel much better instead of feeling like, oh my gosh, it's more of the same old, it's more struggle, it's more being out in the cold. Instead of feeling like that, it's like, okay, right now we are closing out these cycles. It's just a little bit further, but there's so much to look forward to. There's so much to look forward to. So that's the message that I'm going to leave you with. And this was so much fun. And I'm going to be back next week with more messages.